And we are recording. Excellent. Well, welcome everybody to another fantastic webinar with me. Build a profitable email list with your book using Kindle and CreateSpace, or just an ebook, or any traditional publishing. Doesn't have to be just Kindle and CreateSpace. Just thought I'd throw that out there for keyword's sake. And I'm glad everybody's here tonight. Thank goodness that you're here, because this is going to be a fantastic, eye-opening webinar covering a lot of cool topics that I usually don't go over. And since everyone's on the Kindle bandwagon, this is going to be especially apropos tonight. So your webinar is starting now. So grab a glass of wine like Dickie down there in that picture, and we'll get moving along. Now, I am your host, Colin Martin. If you don't know me, shame on you, but I think everyone knows me by now in my community, and I'm really glad everyone's showing up tonight, because it really means a lot to your business that you're going to learn something so incredibly important. And I'm going to get to a couple of things I really want to explain here. I was putting on this webinar here to teach you about building a list, which is extremely important, but there's a lot more to it than that. And I'm going to cover a few internet truths here in just a second, but this is part of my Real Content, Real Training series for 2014. Damn, we've gone through half the year already with this. God only knows what 2015 is going to hold. But again, happy 4th of July to everybody. We're planning on having a tropical storm/hurricane here for Friday, so it's kind of killing plans for going out. But, you know, I work all the time anyway, so who cares? Also, I'm going to have a live Q&A at the end, so if you have any questions, you might want to just hold them until then, and be sure to get them in early as well. Now, I want to talk about Kindle and CreateSpace, and I want to go ahead and preface this with, this isn't going to be one of those Kindle secret kind of webinars that everybody's putting on. They're everywhere. You can, I think I've watched like 9 different ones lately about how to create Kindle and how to, you know, get more traffic to it and how to sell more. There's a lot of Kindle secrets. The idea here is, though, is that Kindle has taken off, and it's given everyone an opportunity to become a published author, which is great. So the revolution is at hand. It's here to stay. I've written numerous ebooks and published regular traditional books and a lot of Kindle books. I mean, I'm a writer by heart, and I love it. And it's worked for me, and I make quite a bit of money from Kindle and all my books combined. In the early days, I made a lot of money from ebooks, actually a lot more from ebooks than I do from Kindle. But I've been using Kindle for a completely different reason. Now, internet truth number 1 that I want to share with you tonight is, and we've heard this before, but I really want to reiterate it, your list is gold. The only way you'll make real money on the internet is not really from Kindle and selling a lot of books. There's money in it, but you never have complete control over how many books you're going to sell. Just like any other art form, it's a little bit of a crapshoot. So the point is that Kindle, I found, can be used to build a list. The list is gold. Building a community is where the money is. Now, the internet's changed, and the automated, just let's sell a bunch of stuff and get rich quick kind of stuff used to work, but it doesn't work for everyone, and it doesn't really work anymore. It's an entirely new dynamic out there. Now, when you think of internet marketing, you think of those yachts and girls in bikinis and fancy cars and big mansions, and yes, I have to admit that lifestyle is good, and it's been good to me as well. But it's really hard to do that anymore, and internet marketing is about building a community of people, and this tonight is a critical part of community building, building a list of raving fans that will buy everything from you and build a lifelong relationship with you. And that's what I really want to express. And I'm going to have a couple more truths as we go along throughout the night, so keep all that in mind. But again, this isn't your typical Kindle webinar. It's not one of these Kindle secrets and all this kind of stuff. What I'm going to show you tonight is something that a lot of us just have forgotten to do when we publish any of our books, whether they be traditional ebooks or Kindle or anything else. Now, this webinar also is assuming that you've already written and published a book, but if you haven't, that's completely fine. If you're having trouble seeing any of the slides, you might want to log out and log back in, and I hope that you can see that. Oh, hold on just a second. I'm sorry. My goodness. I forgot to hit the share the screen button. I am terrible about that. All right. Here. Now everyone should be able to see the Why Kindle and CreateSpace screens. Okay, good. Now, thank you goodness for that. Can everybody see the Why Kindle and space slide real quick. If you can, go ahead and put that into the chat box. Definitely good. Okay, great. Because I really wanted to make a point here with this. And so this webinar is not about Kindle secrets, like I said before. And also, if you haven't written the book, hallelujah, this is the revolution. But you want to make sure that you don't have to go back and make the changes that I'm going to teach you tonight. So this webinar is about how to create a profitable list, a community of your own raving fans from people who have purchased your book and read it and now love you. And that's the perfect hot lead that you want to definitely have as a part of your community. And if you've written the book and they're either don't or they're unable or uninterested in trying to leave the Kindle book and link out to one of your resources and join your list, you've really lost one of the most powerful and hottest leads that you possibly could have. So that's what we really want tonight. This is perfect for ebooks, Kindle, and even traditional books printed by CreateSpace or Lightning Source or any other place, or even from major publishers, okay? But there's some big problems that we have with Kindle. Now, I love when you write and I love when you publish, but there's some problems out there, and they're not being used properly to build a community of raving fans. Problem number one is we're not putting the links at all in the books, whether they be ebooks or Kindle. We often forget to put links in there. I'll often buy a Kindle book from even a client or even critique one, and all they have is like an email address or something like that, and that's it. There's no links at all. They've totally put so much effort and so much work and so much love into writing this thing, and they kind of forgot about the secondary marketing. Also, the links aren't going, if they have any at all, they're not going to something specific or something directly related to the book and the book content. Another problem is we're not able to collect email addresses from our customers on Amazon. Now, it's almost impossible to get the contact information from anyone who buys a Kindle book or a CreateSpace book from Amazon. Now, there might be some secret app these days where you can get the emails from people who purchased, but what about the ones that you share, the promotions, the ones you give away hundreds of copies at a time that people can use, those Kindle secrets, or use the giveaway promotion to help build your rank? Those people, they're reading the book and you're not able to collect the addresses. These are people who have made a purchase. Now, in the internet, every purchase, whether it's an ebook from my site or a product or a CD or an MP3 download or anything on my own website, we're able to collect that information and use it. Even affiliates promoting our stuff, you're able to get the email. But with Amazon, you can't. So this is a critical part of how to build a community with your Kindle book. We're also not able to measure the success of the links. If you have links in your ebook and they're just going to a homepage, for instance, and maybe one or two people sign up, you don't know where they're coming from. So you're not able to measure the aftermarket success of your Kindle and your published books. In that regard, we're not building a community of raving fans, which is the #1 way to make money. It's not about Kindle, and it's not about fancy products, and it's not about selling affiliates, and it's not about #1 positioning or any of that stuff. It's about building a community of people that love you, building lifelong relationships, and giving you the opportunity to reach out further than you can in a physical sense, to reach out and help people to do what you've been called to do. And we're also not linking from physical books. What in the world? How in the world can we link from a physical book? I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. But don't despair. I'm going to show you the perfect process here and how to fix all these problems. So let's take a look at big problem #1, which is having no links at all. So putting clickable links in your ebooks, I've been doing that for years. That's as old as the hills. But surprisingly, a lot of people don't do it. Still to this day, I checked an ebook today from a major corporation who was selling some kind of outsourcing for HR groups and big companies and things like that. They have a staff of like 16 people or something like this, and they wanted me to look at this ebook that they're sending people who they talk to on the phone. So they get the email address on the phone, they send an ebook out to these people. and it had no links at all, just a little email address. And so I had to fix that, and they were like, really? I never heard of that. And I'm like, I've been doing this for like 7 or 8 years, okay? But Kindle, we often forget how to do that. So don't use email addresses. Just don't put like a physical contact. Don't put your phone number or some kind of website address that isn't clickable, because people aren't going to take the extra step from reading your book to manually typing things in. This is the age of clickability. They're used to it on your website. They're used to seeing it on other websites, and they really just want to be able, in their Kindle Fire or their PDF, to simply mouse over and click right on the link and be taken to an online resource. If you expect someone to phone you with your phone number, if you put your phone number in your Kindle book and say, please call me for a free consultation, and all there is a phone number, I hope your life spans about 250 years, because basically it'll take that long before anyone's ever going to call that number. Okay? You're missing an incredible opportunity if you don't put links in there. You do want to use what's called anchor text, which is actually a clickable keyword or a phrase or something that builds curiosity or prompts them to want to click. And also you want to reward your reader. So if they're reading something and they come across a certain section in the book that applies to a certain problem, go ahead and send them to a resource where they can get something more for free, or some resource that they can download that's going to help their life. Okay? And that's the reason why you wrote the book in the first place, was to help them change their life. So reward your readers with more resources than just the book itself, and you'll be rewarded as well with the click-through rates. So when I talk about putting a clickable link, some people go, what does that mean? Well, it's a phrase or something that is identifiable as a clickable link that kind of nudges them to take action. And using click here or read more or discover more or something like that is not strong enough. You want to implicitly imply that there's something going on, and they're going to get a certain kind of information with clicking out. So here's a couple of examples here. The top one, launching a blog and improved lead generation. Those are two clickable phrases. They're in orange. You can see them as a clickable link. And I wrote a little example here from one of my ebooks that says you will want to create a blog that makes money with ads as part of your home-based business strategy. So while I'm writing about home-based business strategies in my Kindle book or my ebook, I want to send them to a resource where they can get more information, but they have to opt in for it. And I want to let them know exactly what they're going to get. So that is a curiosity building link there, blog that makes money with ads. That's exactly what they want to do. So they're going to click on that because that's one of the things that they're looking to accomplish by reading the book. This is an added value to any Kindle or ebook as well. So it's not just about community building, it's creating value adds in your book. So when people buy a book and it's got great information, these are extra information, surprise information that they didn't know was in the book, that now adds real value, that keeps going. The gift keeps giving far beyond the initial purchase of the book. So that's important for conversion. Also, I actually use little graphics that are clickable because people are used to clicking on them. They're psychologically easy to understand. There's certain banners that you can use from affiliates. This is an example from my jewelry book, How to Start a Jewelry Business book that sells like hotcakes. And I've made a small fortune for that thing, but it's been out for 5 years now or something, and I wrote it a long time ago, back in 2009, 2010, and I've got a whole niche market of jewelry people that buy it. But just selling the book is $10 or $7 or something like that, but that's not the money I really want to make. I want to make something that comes in every month. So while I'm educating them about how they need a shopping cart to sell jewelry, I offer a resource, which is the one shopping cart here, and that banner, when you click on it, and it says click on the banner to visit the site, that is an affiliate link. So every time someone buys the cart, I get $30 every month for each person, and that's a lot of money. So I sold a $7 ebook that's educational. It's 130 pages. It's good stuff. But I wanted to make sure I kept the money rolling in. And this is so you can link to an opt-in, or you can link to an actual product or an affiliate link in an ebook to try to get a recurring income. Now, not all these recurring affiliate products are as large as $30 a month per person. This one happens to be that, but there's smaller ones like Amazon links, where it's so easy to become an Amazon affiliate and sell directly related products to the book that you're actually, or in the topic you're writing about in your book. So you can actually help people by selling them tools and selling them resources and selling them other books and recordings and everything from Amazon and get the affiliate commission that way. Big problem number 2, links in the ebooks or Kindle are not going to the right place. This is the real biggie. This is the big problem I see. And I know it's a big problem because 99% of all the links in either ebooks or Kindle books are going to the home page of the author's website. Okay. When an author's writing and they're thinking, wow, I guess I should really put a link or some contact information in here, I'm going to go ahead and just tell them to go to my website. The problem is that your home page, coming from someone who's just read a book and wants to know all about you, or might want to make a purchase or something more specific, the home page is the lowest converting area that you can possibly send them to. Why? Because the home page there isn't anything on the home page that has a direct response. It's a lot of content. There's all this navigation. There's tons of stuff to read. There's pictures to look at. There's Facebook things to follow. There's links all over the place. There's lots of content. It's beautiful, but it doesn't have a single-minded focus in terms of conversion. If you send them to the homepage, they're going to look at all this stuff, and they're going to read some blog posts, and they're going to like, wow, this guy's really cool. Okay, well, I'm out of here. There wasn't anything specific for them to do. So what I like to do is send them to a resource that is directly connected to the problem that I've addressed in the book. No matter what that is, whether you're talking about losing weight, curing diabetes, lowering taxes, getting kids off of drugs, any kind of problem, doesn't matter what your book is about. You've obviously written a book for information purposes to solve problems that people are having. That's a given. So what you want to do is you want to narrow the links while someone's reading the book. You can even make them chapter or chapter specific. So if they're reading a certain chapter about type 2 diabetes recipes, for instance, and the whole book is about, kicking diabetes in the butt or something like that, and chapter 15 is about recipes that lower blood sugar, the links in that specific chapter should be directly related. They should be selling books or opting in for a recipe guide on your website or something very specific. And the way I do that is using what's called a dedicated opt-in or a product, a direct link to a product in my store, or an affiliate product such as an Amazon, like we just talked about. A dedicated opt-in is what I like to use because I want those people not really sent to Amazon. I really want them in my community, and I want to do that using what's called a dedicated opt-in, or we call it a squeeze page. Now, here's a couple of examples of something that I would link to from a Kindle book. And this is your typical squeeze page where there's some information about something that will help them. It'll educate them, and all they have to do is now opt in simply with their email, and that's it, to watch this video, and the video will teach them more about the topic I was just talking about in the book. It's directly related, and because of that, it has the highest converting leads that you can possibly generate. So if I'd have sent them to just my homepage, I would be risking losing them in the pool of information. But here, all they want to do, there's no choice here. They either opt in or they leave. That's it. And there's other links in the book. You can always put your website address to send them to the homepage at the end of the book or something like that, or even in the footer. But I like to use direct links because they're hot, and if they're willing to click on that, they're almost always willing to sign up for an opt-in to watch something that is directly related to the problem they're just reading about. So These opt-ins here from Kindle to a squeeze page are as high as 75%. So if you've sold 50 books out there or 60 books, 75% of that would be 45. That's 45 people opting in to your database who have just read your book, that really love what you have to say. And that's a hot lead. That isn't someone who just came in from your website from out of nowhere and just signed up for no reason, or came from Facebook or God knows where. This reader is emotionally engaged in the content and is more willing to join your community and open up the newsletters and buy all the products that you can have. Here's another example of a squeeze page of mine where inside all my other books about internet marketing, I tell people that copywriting is a big part of internet marketing success, regardless of whatever you're doing. And so I often link to this squeeze page here where you can get my free Stealth Persuasion ebook. And it's just got a big picture, and there's nothing here but an opt-in box. Picture of the book, name, email, I want it, done. There's nothing else here to decide about. And that has a very high conversion. Now, when people just come to this squeeze page from Google searches or Twitter or something, the conversion's not quite as high. But coming from a book that I wrote, yes, 75% conversions, because those people have been pre-qualified into loving what I have to say and knowing that I know what I'm talking about, and they're making the conscious choice to become part of your community and to engage with the other members of the community and in all the other things that you do, including webinars, teleclasses, etc. Now, that is the person that will buy the most stuff, and you'll have the lifelong relationship more than any other person that you can possibly get from the internet, period. It doesn't matter how you got somebody, but someone who just read a book that has a direct link that you just solved the problem and they're opting in for more information, bam, highest converting lead. Here's another example of a squeeze page that I just made for a client of mine, Barbara. And again, I created this for her, a big picture that's visually emotionally effective here with a little kid and everything. And this is an opt-in. That's a video right here that plays automatically when it just starts playing automatically the minute you come to the squeeze page. And it's less than a minute long. She's talking about what you're going to get and how important this is. And all you do is put in name and email, click the button, and get your free checklist, to help your child be ready for kindergarten. There's no more higher calling than that, than educating your children. And Barbara knows that. The people are happy. This link can come from her ebook that she's got on Kindle. But this gets her in the system. So she doesn't miss that sale. She doesn't miss that contact of that person who bought that book. And they get right into her system, which falls into a funnel of autoresponders, and it's really cool. And so congratulations to Barbara on that one. Now, these are an example of links that are going to different places, such as an affiliate. So you can send them to products. You can send them to a squeeze page, a product page, or an affiliate page. Again, if you're selling a product, you're still getting the contact information because they have to go through your PayPal or shopping cart, and that's hooked up to your email process, your autoresponders when they buy a product, so you're getting the email. So squeeze page, product, you get the same contact information. Now, a product is a little bit less conversion because you're asking people for money as opposed to giving away something for free. But here's an idea of what links look like in Kindle books. And these are two examples of two of my Kindle books. And the first one is, again, from my jewelry book. And you can see that there's clickable links to Party Light, Pampered Chef, and Leah Sophia. Okay? These are 3 home-based jewelry businesses that I know that my reader would be interested in if they're trying to start a jewelry business. So if they don't want to make their own jewelry, they can just click on one of these and sign up as a home-based business. And everybody's pretty familiar with Pampered Chef and Leah Sophia and things like that. But these are affiliate links of mine. So I'm driving traffic into my downline with this multi-level marketing by getting people signed up through an ebook about how to start a jewelry business and sending them to an actual resource where I get paid every month. And the second example down here at the bottom goes to products out on Amazon. Those are actually links that just go to Amazon, such as cookbooks. Amazon sells waffle makers, and you can sell anything with your Amazon affiliate. So you want to make sure that you're sending people either to a squeeze page or to product or affiliate pages. In that regard, big problem number 3 is there's no measure of success. How do we know whether a book is actually marketing or doing what it's supposed to do beyond getting the Kindle report that somebody bought one? What's going on after that, and how in the world do I know? Again, if I send someone to a home page for my Kindle book and they happen to opt in on that little right-hand sidebar opt-in that we always like to use on our home pages, that's for general audience. I don't know where that person came from. I don't know if that was a Kindle or CreateSpace. I don't know if that was from an ebook. All I know is I just got another opt-in on my homepage. That could have been just a regular random visitor. So I don't know. And that's another reason why you don't want to send them to your homepage, because you're unable to measure the success of your conversions with your ebooks on Kindle. So what I like to do is I like to create a dedicated opt-in that is specifically for a Kindle book. So if I have a Kindle book that has clickable links to, say, a squeeze page, I make a dedicated squeeze page, and I got dozens and dozens and dozens of squeeze pages that are all meant for specific audiences. Not everyone can see them. They're just links to from certain things. I have some from Twitter. I have some from Facebook. I have some from Kindle. And so if someone opts in on a particular squeeze page, that the only link to that squeeze page is in that Kindle book, then I know they came from Kindle. And I'm able to use that to spend more money promoting that book or whatever I have to do to try to get that particular audience. Also, what I like about that is the opt-in form is connected to a certain campaign of autoresponders. It can have its own set and series of autoresponders that kick off. So if I'm selling a number of different products or talking about a number of different things, and I have a Kindle book about type 2 diabetes, and someone clicks on the link and they opt in to get the free recipe guide, it'll kick off an autoresponder series that is specific to that person, which will promote maybe a type 2 diabetes Facebook group that they can join. I can give them special discounts or coupon codes to Amazon so that they can save money buying more books. So what I want to do is I want to try to make more money after the opt-in with autoresponders that are specifically dedicated to that Kindle book and that reader. So that's why I like to use special opt-in pages. So I'll make special squeeze pages for each and every book that I have so I can measure success. Amazon, again, we just said, doesn't allow you to collect the email addresses of Kindle or CreateSpace customers. So this is the only way that you can build a community of people from your readers. Do you want someone to invest that much money into a book, or to sell that many Kindle books, or to give away that many Kindle books and have all those people reading and never be able to collect the contact information for them? That would drive me insane. So how am I supposed to sell and make money to people who love me and have read the book if I don't have dedicated links? So that's the reason I like to do that. Big problem number 4 is all related to this. It's no community building. It's no building of the list. The list is exactly why you're in internet marketing. No longer should you concentrate on get rich quick, automated, let's do a whole lot of nothing and try to make all this money. It's not about that. Internet truth number 2 is using the internet not to make money specifically, but to reach out and help as many people and to widen your reach to the people that need your help than you've ever had at any other time in history. Up until the internet, this was a neighborhood community. It was not a global community. So no matter how much you tried to help somebody, being a coach or a consultant, or just being anyone that sells any kind of information product that would help somebody and change their life, You were stuck in an office with yellow pages and hoped that people would drive to you and you could sit down right in your medicine tent and help these people. And the internet has changed all that. It's a global community, but somehow we've lost the message of being able to take my talent, my calling in life, and to reach out and change as many lives as possible in a domino effect that goes on and on and on, and to be financially rewarded because of that. And we've lost sight of that kind of thing for all these weird flavor of the month. Let's get rich quick. Let's do nothing. Let's work 1 hour, a month and have 95 affiliate websites all running on internet cash machines. And, that kind of stuff is starting to fade out. Not only do people not like it, it doesn't really work as much as those people promise. But you are someone who needs to reach out and help people, and this is how you do it. Kindle is an opportunity for growth and to reach out and build your community of people that really need your help. People who have just purchased and are reading the book, that's one of the hottest leads that you can have. The only hotter lead, and I've said this before, than someone reading a book that you've just written is standing up and speaking in front of a giant group of people. If someone can see your face and you're reaching out and you're touching them and you're really getting into this emotional speech, that's the hottest lead you can get. Well, most of us don't get to go out and speak that much and have those opportunities. So Kindle is the perfect opportunity for that. They're engaged in your teachings. They're engaged in your mentorship, and they're exposed to your philosophy. So through the links that you're providing in these Kindle books and ebooks and physical books, they can be redirected into your email list and autoresponder series that rewards them with fresh resources and new knowledge, and it rewards you financially. Now they can be included as a part of your community. They can be invited to webinars, teleclasses, telesummits, forums, retreats, anything that you have. You can bring them into the fold and sell them anything that you want and know that you're helping change the world in that regard. So now the small little $6 or $7 book sale where you only get a couple bucks anyway, royalty from Kindle anyways, that's not the end all here. That small Kindle book, that one little sale, has now become a limitless opportunity to change the world and to make untold amount of wealth. And that's exactly why these links and how they're set up the way I'm setting them up here is critically important to grow your community and to help people. In that regard, here's a case study. I want to explain it. A case study of mine with a Kindle book. Here is my Stealth Persuasion. It's $4.99. Okay, big whoop-de-doo. Now, I sell one of these books, and I can go have my sex change operation I've been waiting all these years to have. Just kidding. Vicky's looking at me really bad on that one. So here, I got a $4.99 book. So a customer, and this is a true story, a customer purchased my Kindle book, Stealth Persuasion, from Amazon. It was $4.99. Okay, thank you for the $4.99. A link inside, a specific link inside, took them to a dedicated page on my website where they filled out a survey to get a free consultation. People love free consultations. This is called the survey siphon. So what I'm doing is I'm getting people to click on a survey and siphoning their information into a free consultation where I talk to them on the phone. So they called me. I talked to them for about 15 minutes and sold them into a $247 coaching package. Well, they told me on the phone that, my money's kind of tight and I think I'll just maybe try it out for a month. And I said, that's fine. You try it out for a month. But knowing how, awesome I am, I needed to stick around a little bit. Well, these people loved me, of course, and they stayed on for 7 months before they stopped paying. So $247 times 7 is $1,729. So a Kindle book that they bought for $4.99 turned into a $1,729 sale. Now, I want to ask you really quick, you don't have to put it in the chat box or anything, just think to yourself, when did my last $5 Kindle book turn into nearly a $2,000 sale? And if it didn't, why didn't it? Was the funnel not there? Did I not work people through a particular system? Did I not siphon them off into a certain direction that I wanted them to go? And how did I use the links to do that? And I just showed you how. And that's actually one of the most simple funnels I've ever created. It was one link to a page with a survey. They called me on the phone. Done. 3-step funnel. But very, very convincing. Through the coaching that they received from me, they helped change the lives of others that they were called to help. And that's the big, important reason why I'm teaching this tonight. I want to make sure that you are leading people through a funnel, not just to make $2,000, but to keep that domino effect of helping people help others go on and on and on. So that's extremely important to me, and that's the reason why I'm teaching this tonight. Big problem number 5, no linking from physical books. How often do you see links in physical books? Physical books are still my hottest sellers. Believe it or not, I'm running neck and neck with physical books as opposed to Kindle and ebooks. And I didn't know that that was going to happen. Nobody knows anything until they see the numbers, until the numbers prove otherwise. And I had no idea that I'd sell that many physical books. I guess people just like to have physical books. I guess they like to sit down in bed and read these things, in the old school way. Not everyone's got a Kindle. I mean, most people seems like they have some kind of e-reader, but not everyone. I still buy physical books, and I think we all do. But I was kind of shocked that it was running neck to neck, almost even. So I thought to myself, well, I'm missing an opportunity here. If I put clickable links in all my ebooks, which I've been doing for years, how in the world can I get people over to my website from a physical book? But how do you put a link to your products or an opt-in in a physical book? Do you have any ideas out there? Pop that into the chat box and let me know, how would you link to your website from a physical book? And I mean linking, not just like writing out the website. And people are coming in. Dawn says she's yet to buy a Kindle, even though she's written 51 Kindle books. She won't break down and get the reader. Shame on you. QR code, Jeremy says, good. Marjorie says QR codes. Clara says, have a list of resources at the end of the book. Yes, I've seen lots of that for years and years. With a DVD, Pamela says, ooh, that's nice. Having a DVD included. I've seen that. That's really good. Miss Jordan says, I see links in the back. I write in the URL. Absolutely. All those are really good, but the easiest way to do it, and a couple people hit on it, the QR code. If you haven't installed QR codes into your physical books, then you are missing an opportunity that I don't think you realize how powerful it is. And we're all writing books, and a lot of us have physical books because, they don't cost anything. Setting it up on CreateSpace and for them to print and mail to your customer a physical book does not cost you 1 red cent. Okay, it isn't like the old days where you had to sit with a garage full of books and mail them out one by one. I don't even do that. Nobody does that anymore. So in that regard, you want an instantaneous link that they can use with their phone to take you to certain resources. And the QR code, if you're not familiar with it, is a little picture there of those little pixelated craziness. Don't know how they work. Don't care. All I know is that I can use these to build my list and community. Here is an example of a book with a QR code in it. And the first time I ever saw one, it was about 5 years ago, believe it or not, and it was Bill Cosby's autobiography, or some book he wrote about being a father or a parent or whatever the hell it was. And at the back, there was a QR code, and I'm like, what is that? I didn't even have a phone that could even read one. So we all searched around the mansion there and found somebody that had a phone that could actually handle it, and we didn't know what it would do. It didn't even say anything, so we took a picture of the QR code, or however it works, and it went to YouTube, where Bill Cosby had all these videos, and it was amazing. And I thought, holy shit, I can't believe that. I got to steal this. So I've been working on that ever since. And you can put bonus content, anything that you want to link to And again, it can be anything. This QR code can go anywhere. Why? Because building a QR code that goes anywhere is as simple as setting up a PayPal. It's actually easier than that. It's the most simple thing now. And there's a site called qrstuff.com. You can see the domain right there, qrstuff.com. Look at this. Step one, pick where you want the QR code to go. A website, YouTube video, Google, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Skype, calls, a telephone number, Instagram, email addresses, digital business cards, PayPal button. I can have a QR code go to a PayPal checkout button. Get out of here, okay? This is freaking awesome. I've never seen anything this cool. And you just pick the radio button of where you want it to go, and then it tells you to fill in some information. It asks for the URL to all these things here that you want to send them to. Step 3 is create the QR code. This just says create button. And then step 4, the output type, it tells you to give you a code that you can put on a website, or the printable one that you can put in your physical book. So can you imagine having a physical book with links that people can click on with their phone that goes to any number of all these different places, or have dozens of them do that? What the hell's going on here? This is the greatest thing that I've ever seen. And because I'm selling so many physical books, this is fantastic opportunity to bring people into my community. Internet truth number 3, my friends. Building a list is a pain in the butt. It's hard. It's expensive. It's not as easy as most people tell you it is. Building a list of people that really love you is difficult. It's hard to get people from Facebook to ever opt in for anything. It's hard to get anyone to click on a paid ad and opt in, and now you're spending, 80 cents a click for people to go, nah, I don't want it. I mean, come on. That's costing real money, and it's costing real time. The 2 biggest ways I've ever built a list is, and God's honest truth, is having joint venture people send all their people to sign up for one of my webinars, and I filter them through an opt-in before they get the registration. Number 1. Number 2 was giving away Kindle and ebooks. That's exactly how I did it. Because waiting for traffic, again, I hope you live to be 250, because you're not going to build a community waiting for website traffic. That's never going to happen, okay? You have to proactively go out and put links that people are interested on clicking on, who are already familiar with or being promoted by something to do with your teachings, and get them into your community. That brings me to my Kindle and ebook genius tips. I want to show you exactly how I did this, in it being runner-up to joint ventures, which are hard to get. Anyone can do this. I don't have to be part of the Internet Marketing Guru Network to put out a bunch of Kindle books and ebooks, give them away for free even, and get people to click on links that build my community. Here's a trick. Over on Kindle, there's a way to look inside the book. So they often will give a preview to a potential customer on Kindle and show them about 10%. So if you have a 200-page book, you can literally see about 20 pages. And then it says, purchase if you want to see more. It's a teaser, and it works great. Well, I found that I want to put all my links, and a lot of these links, in the first 10% of my Kindle book, because if a consumer who is considering buying the book wants to look inside first, they are actually able to click on the links. The links are live and clickable in the Look Inside preview on Kindle. So don't put the resources and don't put all the links and contact information at the end of the book. Put them in the beginning. I've gotten a lot of people join that community from clicking on links that didn't even buy the book. So that's Kindle Genius Tip 1. Another one is to use the Kindle promotion feature to give away your book to thousands of people. There is a promotional feature where you can give away your Kindle book up to 5 days every 6 months or a year or something like that. I don't even know the details of Kindle. I'm no Kindle expert in terms of all the workings of Kindle itself, like some of these other people. You can learn a lot about Kindle secrets, about the mechanics of the Kindle machine, from a number of different people, including Daniel Hall and Tom and a bunch of other people. But I'm talking about building a community, getting this stuff in your Kindle book before you actually publish it. And Kindle has a promotion where I gave it away. So I gave it away for 5 days and for free. And I would think I sold maybe 60 copies that month. So I decided, this was stealth persuasion, so I decided to open it up for the free promotion. Yes, 2,100 downloads in 5 days. Oh, yeah, I asked for $5. Nobody buys it. I give it away for free. 2,000 people downloaded it. What the hell? I don't care. I mean, you know why? Because they were clicking on the links and building the list. I don't care about the $5. I care about that person who signed up, because I can turn $5 into $2,000 very easily. I just showed you proof of that. I can also turn someone who got it for free into untold opportunity. And that's exactly how I want you to think about this, is that giving away books can create unlimited amount of wealth if you know how to funnel them properly, like I showed you here. So, and you also want to turn on your lending. Not only do people lend their Kindle books to other people, that's just broadening the amount of reach and exposure that you have. Not only that, you actually get a small royalty from lending to other people. I use for ebooks to give things away called free-ebooks.net. Now, that you can upload an ebook and you just upload it once. It's available for free, and that's it. And you never have to go back and do anything with it ever again. So I uploaded this book here, a book of mine. That's me and Mark Bullard there, with the ultimate guide to online video production and marketing. And there are links in there for list building, and there's actually a 7-day or a free trial for $7 or something like that, where you start the program for $7, and then if you stay a member, it kicks in 3 more payments of $50 or something like that. And that's for a online video course. We've been doing this for 4 years now. I uploaded this 3 years ago. It's only 30 pages long. It's 30 pages long. I wrote this in an afternoon. I mean, literally. Sat down, put Seinfeld on or something. By the time a few episodes were over, I'd written this ebook. It's been downloaded nearly 2,000 times. Now, that's the kind of exposure I want. I want to give away 2,000 copies of a cheap 30-page ebook that is very informative, but has lots of links to buy stuff. And I can do this with numerous books. If I can write a book in an afternoon, I can basically write 50 of these things in a year and not even break a sweat. Now, 50 times 2,000, yeah, I don't know what that is, 100,000 or something like that. Yeah, 100,000. Mathematical genius Vicky over here, nodding her head. Yeah, I don't know, man, but it's a lot of people. When's the last time you were able to put that kind of information with links to your opt-ins and more resources in front of the eyeballs of 100,000 people that didn't cost you a fortune? Okay, just think about it. It's totally free. Okay, and I'm selling these books in other places. I'm just giving them away on this site. So that's free-ebooks.net. In that regard, 30 pages, I want you to sit down from now on and not write this 300-page novel and these 500-page tomes and these ultimate guides to God knows what that are 1,500 pages long, but write these short, informative, high-content Kindle and ebooks just to increase the opt-in success rate. If you have one book and it took you 6 months to write it, I know how good that book is, but it's limiting the amount of opt-ins you can get because it's just simply limiting the amount of exposure that you have to customers. If you have 50 books like Don does, Don Boyer here in Virginia Beach, think of how many people are reading those books. Every time you write a Kindle book, in my experience, the Kindle books I have, I got 1 or 2 that sell really good, and then the other 15 or so sell all kind of about the same, somewhere between like 20 or 30 a month. And my top books have sold in the hundreds a month. But most of the ones I write only sell like 30 a month. But I have 15 of them, so I go 15 times 30, and then I give away all that. And I want to write more of those, and I need all that just to get the community building here. And the promotions have worked a lot for me So if you can write more books than just one a year, then that's what you should do. And I look at a lot of my clients that I've had this year, and they basically have one or two books, and they've been working on them for the last 2 years, and they have them, and I'm really proud of it. And they're doing all this promotion, and they're spending all this money on promoting it, and they're building all this social media platforms, and voila, it's not really selling much more than if they just popped it on there anyway. And they didn't have any links, and they're not building a community, so they're just basically pocketing chump change and getting nothing out of it. And we've had to go back and put these things in the books specifically and re-upload them, which is another part of this. So in review, I want you to think of your book, whether it's a Kindle or ebook, as a gateway, not your end-all product, not your big masterpiece here. But think of smaller books, break them up, take your big book, break them up into smaller like subsets and different parts. Some books are so large you can break them up into 10 smaller books and divide them by chapter with keywords and everything. And use them as what's called a gateway product. The gateway product is one that you get a small amount of money for, but it is specifically designed to lead to a bigger purchase. So it's not the end product of your marketing. Your Kindle book is now just the beginning of untold opportunities. In that regard, I also want you to think about this linking strategy before you publish or before you finish the book. Think of this as a chess game and try to look at the certain amount of moves ahead of the end result. So when you're writing your book and you're thinking about, ooh, I'm going to be a self-published author and I might make it big, think about a few steps ahead and think, how can I market this thing above and beyond just selling the book? So that way you don't have to go back and make these changes and upload it all over again. Remember that images can be clickable. Don't just throw images in for images' sake. Use banners and images because people like to click on them, as well as text. Write books specifically for affiliate products. A quick story is Tom Antion wrote this 30-page book called How to Use a Shopping Cart. Okay, great. Well, it taught you how to use a shopping cart. Well, that's good. But it was full of links over to one shopping cart where he is an affiliate for one shopping cart. So he started doing this almost 10 years ago. He wrote this book, and he's sold or given away for free 120,000 copies of that How to Use a Shopping Cart book. I would say 80% or more were all giveaway frees for promotions, downloads, just putting them, for opt-ins, whatever. And 120,000 out of that, he's had over 1,000 people sign up for one shopping cart at $30 a pop every month. That's why Tom Antion is making $30,000 a month, and he'll prove these numbers to you if you want to call him and ask him, but trust me, I know. $30,000 a month just from referring one shopping cart to 1,000 people, basically from that ebook. So you can create a book just for an affiliate product and market it even under another name or something if you don't want to mess up your brand. And remember to build a special series of autoresponders just for a Kindle book that builds a certain community of readers that you can funnel right to exactly where you want them to go. And don't just hold out for the sale. Just don't look at your Kindle numbers and go, yeah, I sold 50 this month. Whoa, what do you do? Give away as many as possible, because clicking on the links with what I've shown you tonight is the critical way to build a community of raving fans that you can sell to over and over again, year after year after year. If you're not doing this with Kindle, your ebooks, or even your physical books with the QR codes, you are missing out on a wealth of money and goodwill in being able to reach out and help the people that you were called to help, which is the big important thing here. And you'll be rewarded with a community that really loves you. And going back to internet truth number one, that's the only real way to make money online. So I'm going to get to the Q&A in just a minute, but I do want to talk about my new group coaching here. It's Colin Martin's Dream Alliance group coaching. It's on the first, second, and third Tuesdays of every month. The topics are focused on making online income, called solution-based topics. You get a little bit of taste of that tonight, where I'm giving you real truths of how to make money, exact funnels of how to take a small sale and funnel it to a larger sale, and giving you real case studies of how it actually worked. A lot of people won't do that for you, and I call it solution-based, online income solution-based topics. There's also a private forum Facebook group that can turn into mastermind groups. There's downloadable files, checklists, and handouts each week, and access to all the recordings. Also, you can build a relationship with me and the other members. This is a community-based relationship coaching. It's not about me. It's about you and your business. That's what we're going to focus on in the Dream Alliance, and that's expertwebwriting.com/community. First Tuesdays, I'm going to cover solution-based training. We're going to talk about these topics that make real money. We're going to identify where you're leaving money on the table in your industry right now. And I'm going to come up with specific selling strategies, conversions, and funnels and campaigns, just like I outlined tonight, just for you. Product creation strategies, building an empire, building your brand, and increasing your fees. The next Tuesdays will be wrap sessions. This will be basically an informal powwow. It's a full hour of Q&A where we can talk about anything that you want to talk about. I can answer literally 1,000 questions off the top of my head. I do it all the time. The Q&As on my webinars are usually more exciting than the content half the time. People know it, and that's why they tune in. And we can talk about learning and implementing and making sure that you understand everything that we talked about the week before, or I can just motivate you, help you stay on track, or I can answer any questions that you have. Third Tuesdays is what's going to be called the laser focus sessions. It's a hot seat. I'm going to pick someone out every week, put them in the hot seat, and this is your opportunity to practice sales pitches, video scripts, copywriting ideas, get feedback on new ideas, product ideas, all before they ever go public, and I'll give you instant and valuable critiques about that, and the whole community will hear it. So if you don't want to be in the hot seat, you can just listen to me critique an idea that someone in the hot seat has. You're learning as well, just because you're listening. And that's invaluable, because this is laser focused on the member, the group coaching member. So it's not about my ideas. It's about looking at your ideas and making sure that they're on track before you waste any time or money out there promoting these things. This is a community that will be focused on you, and it's a place where new ideas will take shape, and the input won't just be from me. All the members will be able to add their 2 cents. It's a very valuable group and community service that I have here. So I've decided that making money is what matters to everyone out here. It's what matters most to the people I've been trying to help all along. And I'm not really going to waste your time with these marketing flavor of the weeks and this weird stuff that I just dream up that may or may not work, that no one's ever heard of before. And it's only $75 a month. And there's no obligation. You can just pay for 1 month to see if you like it or not. But I really think you will. It starts next Tuesday, the 8th. So we want to get on board, and I'd really love to have you here. Our first topic that we're going to cover is identifying and creating your signature product. What is a major product system, excuse me, that defines your brand and who you are, that you can market and sell, that has real value, that has legs to it, where you can make money from this for years and years, kind of like my stealth persuasion copywriting system that I sold for 2.5 years, and also build something that is attractive to joint venture partners that would love to promote it for you, and that helps build your list. Anyway, that's the first topic. Next Tuesday, July 8th. Love to have you on board. If you want to be part of the Dream Alliance, 3 weekends a month, $75 a month, no obligation. Go over to expertwebwriting.com/community, expertwebwriting.com/community, and go ahead and get in on the Dream Alliance. I would love to have you. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can already download that I have in the resource page, especially all my paid webinars that I've had this year, including the group coaching one, which a lot of people was my most powerful webinar I've ever had. And not everyone's gotten to see it because we all had to pay, 15 or 20 bucks to see it. So not everyone was on board. If you be part of the Dream Alliance, you can watch that, start watching that tonight. undownload page. So join me over there. Let's get to the Q&A. You can see my beautiful girlfriend, Vicky Victoria there with her beautiful round perfect face, and I love her to death. expertwebwriting.com/community. She's going to be always here sitting on the couch next to me during the Dream Alliance session, so love to have you. I'm going to go ahead and get to the questions here, because it is the live Q&A, which is always my favorite thing, and I'm going to go back and go through the questions here and see what they have. Wow, there's a lot. Bear with me as I scroll. All right, Joanne, love you, Joanne. Glad you're here tonight. She says, if you have tons of opt-in pages, how do you avoid having to buy tons of domain names? Just put them all under one site as subpages? Absolutely. Every one of every one of my opt-in pages is just a hidden subpage of expertwebwriting.com. expertwebwriting.com, if you look at it, it's a sales letter, and there's no navigation on it, so it looks like a one-page site. But behind the scenes, there's nearly 125 other pages under that domain that no one sees, because I link to them directly from certain resources. For instance, expertwebwriting.com/community is just a page. There is no other link to that sales letter at the moment besides what you're seeing on this webinar slide right now, because I'm promoting this group coaching only through this webinar tonight, because I haven't launched it with joint venture partners or on Facebook and Twitter yet. So I'm doing that this week. But no one can see from the main domain all the pages. I have, I think, 75 or 80 different dedicated opt-ins just under the expertwebwriting.com domain. So, Joanne, you hit the nail on the head. It's exactly right. Those are all subpages. No one has to see them. They're direct links. The search engines don't care. They're never going to link to them anyway. It's up to you to do your internet marketing and link to them from your Kindle books, like I told you. Don says, I have yet to buy a Kindle. Yeah, we talked about that. Shame on you. All right, let's see. More Jean, I think her name is. She says, I love this tip, the QR code. Non-invasive, not annoying. The first way I like to do business. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate that testimonial. Katie says, oh, Katie, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're back on board. She's been around for years. I really appreciate. See, when you build a community of people that really love you, they keep coming out for literally years at a time. Katie and I go back to 2012, so it's been a while, and I appreciate you being here tonight. She says, so with the QR code, does it link to your squeeze page URL? Absolutely. Did you see the QR code list? It will link to anything on the planet. Even PayPal buttons. That was, some of this stuff was a surprise to me. QRstuff.com. Just go there and look at this thing. It's all on one page. It'll take you 3 minutes or less to create your own QR code printable for a book. But I'd go ahead and make one for your website too, and posters and anything cards and stuff you put on telephone poles or business cards or whatever. I see them everywhere now. But I like the squeeze page because I'm going to use it to build a community. And Marjorie says, 5 days free every 90 days. Thank you so much. In fact, that's far better than I thought. We're talking about the Kindle promotion. They'll give away your Kindle book for 5 days. Open it up for free downloads every 90 days. That's huge. Okay? We're talking a lot. That's a lot. That's half a month worth of giving away books. Just think about that. Barbara says she had over 1,800. This is Barbara with the opt-in I showed you with the Get Ready for Kindergarten with the video on there. That's one of my favorite opt-in squeeze pages I've ever made for her, and I love that. She says she had over 1,800 downloads to her summer activities book on Kindle. 1,800 downloads. And Barbara, I hope that you had a whole bunch of great links in there back to squeeze pages, back to that squeeze page. And I know you did because we were working together. But good job on that. Clara says, I need to know how to whip up books that fast, maybe with templates. Yeah, I didn't really show you tonight how to write an ebook, but I did suggest that you do write short ebooks. There are Kindle templates and how to write your book in a weekend. There's all sorts of stuff. Just Google super fast writing of Kindle books, and there'll be 1,000 gurus out there, selling you their little thing, and there's probably free webinars and everything else on how to create Kindle books. It's something that we can get into later, especially in the Dream Alliance. Now, I'm getting rid of my personal coaching here fairly soon, so the only way to really have access to me in the wrap sessions and all the things either going to be through these free webinars or over at the Dream Alliance. So that will be your opportunity to sit down and powwow with me and discover how we can create anything there is that you want to create to build wealth out there. So jump on that. Don says, my mind is going crazy wild with ideas here. Calm down, Don. We know redheads are fiery, but yes, this has been great. I want to see book number 51. 50 books Dawn has written. Now, that's more than I have, okay, by a long shot. And I don't know how she does it because she's doing 10,000 other things all the time. She's doing LinkedIn, and she's on Facebook all the time, and she's teaching LinkedIn classes, and she's doing resume writing services. And man, I don't know how she does it, but she's got more energy than God knows what. But yeah, there are lots of great ideas. Katie says, are you allowed to publish on both Kindle and on freeebooks.net? Actually, I'm not really sure about that. I'm leaning towards I don't think so. There's part of Kindle you can put ebooks and stuff that you give away, same versions of them. But there are other ways to enroll your book into what's called KDB Select, which is where you get to give away stuff and the promotions, and there's a lot more power to it. And to enroll into Kindle Select, you can't have that exact same version for sale somewhere else, especially for less or giving it away. So that is a caveat. So you can write a couple of smaller books and put them over on freeebooks.net. But Kindle, I really think, is the big thing over here. Now, I've kind of stopped writing ebooks. I mean, I'm still writing a jewelry report, but I'm not writing as many ebooks as I used to because I just believe that Kindle's the big thing here. People are not opening up PDFs and buying ebooks like they used to because the Kindle revolution has really taken hold. So I would default over to Kindle. Now, if we have ebooks already that we've been selling, I would suggest make sure you look through your linking strategy and make those changes. But for Kindle, this is critical because Kindle has the reach. This is where you can make money and make off Kindle books and really funnel people to your community. So I would really concentrate on Kindle and really not worry about ebooks unless you have a whole bunch of old ones that you really want to give away, or just create some different versions, especially for affiliate products. So you can try that, Katie. Dawn says, looks like I'm going to be doing a lot of rewrites here. Yeah. The problem is if you don't think of this ahead of time like a chess game, then you're going to have to go back and change the files. But the good thing is you can go to Kindle or ebooks or CreateSpace, especially the print-on-demand stuff, make the changes, re-upload the files, and nothing happens. There might be a day or two lag where they approve the draft or whatever, but it's not going to affect your Kindle positioning. It's not going to affect all the reviews you've gotten, none of that. So it's not like you start over. It'll just re-upload any file with the same power. So going back and making changes in your Kindle ebook file and re-uploading it is not a bad idea. It may be a little labor intensive, but that's why you want to think of these things beforehand. Don says book number 51 is going to be loaded with QR codes and hot links. And she's shouting with like 5 exclamation points. So she's like really excited over here in Virginia Beach tonight. All right, 10 after 9. So let's get your questions in. I got a few more here. Joanne says, what are the don'ts of Kindle? Should you only have 1 link per page? No, you can put however many links in the Kindle. They don't care. It's not like there was somebody that didn't like doing that. I can't remember who that was. But no, Kindle books, they're wide open. As long as Kindle is, the only don't is that you don't upload a bunch of stuff that you pulled from the internet where people can get it for free, because when they check the file on Kindle, they'll run it through a program to see if there's exact pages maybe been lifted off the public domain that people can see for free. And that's a no-no, and they'll refuse it. Or PLR books. If you buy a book that's already that someone else wrote and they're just selling copies of it, and you try to upload it to Kindle, chances are someone's already beaten you to it, and there's already an exact version, and they won't let that through. The first version, yeah, but any ones after that, I tried to upload. I bought a PL book called Madame Voodoo's Cajun Recipes, and I uploaded it, and I bought it from a PLR, bought it for like $1, and I thought I'd make some money on Kindle. It was one of Mark and I's experiments, and I got shut down in short order, and they were kind of mean about it, such as like, we will, try it one more time with PLR books, which is called public label rights, the book that you buy and then you own it. But if you didn't write it, and they sell like thousands of these things to people, and they caught me on it and said, try it one more time and we may shut down your account. Now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to write my stuff out. I'll make them short, but I'm going to write original content. So, and that's cool. Marlene says, is there a replay of the session? Absolutely, there'll be a replay going out tomorrow. Thank you for that question. Kay says, thanks, Colin. Your webinar content came at the totally perfect time for me. Caught me before I made some dreadful mistakes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely, Kay. That's perfect. And you don't have to be a big internet marketing person or have been in this industry a long time. You can create an ebook next week, sitting down with a computer and a Word document, and just put some links to your Amazon account and upload Kindle, give it away on the promotion, start making money in a week or two. Real money, beginner money. People that don't have experience of this, you don't even have to have a website, because they sell it on Amazon, and you're linking to Amazon. You don't need your own website. You can just be an Amazonite, I guess, and just do it that way. Donald says, you don't need to buy a Kindle in order to buy and read Kindle books. Absolutely, I don't have one. I'm reading Kindle books on an app that's on my laptop. I don't have a Kindle. I got the Kindle White, but I don't have the Fire thing. I've got it on my computer, and it was absolutely free. Now I could buy whatever Kindle book I want. Good advice there, Donald. And he said, yeah, there's an app for that, including download on my computer, and that's exactly what I use. Julia says, congrats on your Dream Alliance. Colin, sounds great. Yeah, Julie, I appreciate that. Tell all your friends. I know how connected you are. I hope you can help me spread the word there, Julia. I'm glad you're here tonight. Thank you so much. Don says, social media queen. I only sleep 5 hours a night. Yeah, we noticed that. Vicki and I have noticed that you never sleep. And Vicki even said, how in the hell does she do that? Because we're, knocked out just looking at you work, okay. Julia says, do you have a URL for your Dream Alliance? Yeah, absolutely. It's expertwebwriting.com/community. You're seeing it right there on the screen. That's to the Dream Alliance sales letter, where you can purchase and access everything. Clara May says, will we be able to email you questions after you quit Stealth Persuasion? Yes. Anyone who's bought the Stealth Persuasion, I'll be honoring all the advice I offered to answer questions, and also if you hadn't gotten your critique in yet, I promised to critique one of your copy of your homepage or one of your pages of your website or whatever you wanted to send me. I'll honor that. I'm just not selling the system anymore. I've retired that. Clara May also says, what's the difference between ebooks and Kindle books? Nothing really. An ebook opens in a PDF and a Kindle book opens up in Kindle. That's about the only difference. Otherwise, they're formatted basically the same. They basically come from a Word doc and a PDF file that you upload. So there are some Kindle format requirements, but again, you can watch a free webinar about how to create the Kindle, a Kindle file or something more specific, just by searching Google for that, because I don't have anything of that nature. Katie also says, did I hear you say you're going to only offer group coaching versus individual coaching? That's absolutely right. I'm not going to do individual coaching. The only thing I'll have available is group coaching models, and I have a number of them, not just the Dream Alliance, but I'm setting up some ones in the future for specific industries. And the only group coaching I'm really going to have from now on is called Resonate Inc. and that's a new business that I'm opening up with a partner up in Boston. And her and I are opening up a group, opening up a very high level, and it's also kind of expensive, intensive individual coaching geared towards public speakers and authors and people that are generally have a lot of money. So I've moved up in the ranks from the humble person that you knew back in 2011 and started doing these webinars, and I've kind of made a name for myself, and I've decided that if I'm really going to spend time one-on-one, I want to spend as much time as possible with somebody and nurture them to the biggest success possible in every aspect that I can possibly think of, and it takes a lot of time. So Resonate Inc. and is the name of the business, and it's Michelle Demers and myself doing that. And that's even an example of how to start a high-level internet business without even living in the same city. I haven't seen that woman in 4 years, and we just started a very successful coaching business together, and I still haven't seen her in 4 years. We're doing everything online. The beauty of the internet. Okay, I love that. So Joanne says, what software or tools do you use for formatting your books for Kindle, as the formatting often looks awful? Well, what I do is I just go ahead and make a very simple PDF, and then I upload the file, and then they have, Kindle offers an app that you can download to make it look like what it'll look like on Kindle, like a Kindle review app. So there's a lot of people that can explain that a little bit more in depth, but they give you an opportunity to preview what it looks like. And there are people on Fiverr, Joanne, Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, that for $5 will give you tips or actually help you format it if you're having trouble in your Word doc. And there's people that are really just the bomb at this. I haven't had any problems. Just one or two little things that I had to go back and fix. Maybe I've been lucky. Maybe it's not as hard as it used to be, but I'm creating very simple books, and they don't have a lot of, they're not too graphic rich. They just have graphics that are interesting and also clickable, and I haven't had any problems. So because of that, I haven't had to mess with it too much, but that was a good question. Julie also says, can you link to Udemy? Yeah, you can link to anything. You have to go back to, I'm going to go back to the slide just real quick. I know it's getting late, but I want to see the slide with the QR feature right here. This is ridiculous. Look at that list of places to look or to link to from a QR code. Website URL, the first one. Well, friends, that's every single place on the entire internet. 1 trillion places to link to. It doesn't matter. If the only thing I guess you can't do is if it's password protected or something, but you can link to anywhere. A YouTube video, Google Maps, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Foursquare. Oh my God. When I see this, my mind just goes crazy. And it's all free. It doesn't cost one single penny. I'm about, call me cheap maybe, but I'm not about spending a whole bunch of money on marketing. Everything I do is dirt cheap. I'm even going to have a webinar, it might even be next week or the week after, about how to have a zero-cost marketing empire, man, because I'm the dude who's figured that out like crazy. So, yeah, completely free. So let's get back over to expertwebwriting.com/community. Join the Dream Alliance tonight. I would love to have you, and you'll be richly rewarded for that. Don says, I got caught in that exact pages info, but was a compendium of all my blogs, and I explained that it was my original materials, and and she's saying that she got busted having what's called public domain content that people can see that isn't for sale, because Kindle runs that. Yeah, sometimes you have to write Kindle, the people over at Kindle, the robots or whoever the hell they are, and tell them that some of the stuff you're writing are your own blog posts, but they are your own content. Sometimes they don't know that, and I've been caught, and then I've just explained it, and they let it through. So it's not really that difficult. But if you are publishing on Kindle, you'll have a number of different issues pop up, and you'll learn really quickly what to do and not do. But it's good, a learning experience. Marlene says, yes, it came at the right time for me as well. I'm so glad I tuned in to the webinar tonight. Thank you, Marlene. I appreciate that. Julia says she sure will tell folks. Thank you for that. Word of mouth is the best marketing out there. especially when you're trying to get people to join a group coaching program. Aline says, where do I find the app for reading Kindle on? Oh, you actually go to Kindle, and at checkout, it can identify that you don't have a Kindle when you're trying to buy one. It can actually tell, well, that's how it worked for me. I went there and I didn't have a Kindle, but I bought a Kindle book. So in checkout, it said, we noticed you don't have a Kindle. Would you like to buy a Kindle Fire for, $500? Or do you just want to download the PC app? Also, you could just Google PC app for Kindle, the Kindle Reader download, and it'll take you to a link where you can download it for free, Aline. And it's a laptop. Yeah, my laptop, it's on my laptop, so it doesn't really matter. Claire May says, how do you make an image a link? That's a little piece of code. Whenever you're in Word, when you're writing your Kindle book, you can insert what's called a hyperlink into the image. You just click on the image, highlight it, go up to the top in your Word document, click the little piece of chain that says hyperlink, and it'll say, link this image to, and then you put an address in there, click save, and now it's a clickable link, and it's all done behind the scenes. No one can see that. Pauline says, what software do you use to have a clickable graphics? Oh, yeah, okay. Pauline just explained it. Wonderful webinar, so informative and easy to understand. Love you. Thanks. Love you too, Pauline. I appreciate you being here tonight. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I know it's getting late, but I really want to thank you for being here because I know that you're serious about building a community, and I really think you're serious about the reason why I'm really here tonight, and that's to help people. And building a community of raving fans not only makes you money, but gives you the reach that your expertise deserves, that until this time came, this internet era, there was no way to do that. And just being here tonight means you're serious about the business and hanging in here for an hour and a half. That's great. And I appreciate it tonight. So I got to get going here pretty soon. Marlene says, I don't think there's any E in Fiverr. Oh, there isn't, right? You're right. It's fivrr.com. Yeah, I don't go to it that often anymore. Marjorie says, are there some options for free autoresponders? Yes, ma'am. MailChimp. MailChimp is totally free, up to 2,500 people. So if you've already got 2,500 people and you're not making money yet, call me back and I'll let you know, and then you won't have to worry about paying for a real service. But MailChimp autoresponders up to 2,500 people. Joanne says, thanks, Colin, for your awesome webinar tonight. I just had one link in my Kindle book. That made me $1,500 from a certification student sign up. Very good, Joanne. You've got the right idea. So one link in her Kindle book made her $1,500. Now she's going to go back and add a bunch more, I got a feeling. And Dawn says, I just posted about your Dream Alliance group on Facebook. Thank you, Dawn. You're welcome for telling my 1,800 followers. Damn straight, girl. I owe you one on that. I got to buy you coffee next week or something. We'll have to get together. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Don. I really appreciate everyone if they share on Facebook and how much they enjoyed the webinar tonight, and share this link to expertwebwriting.com/community, the Dream Alliance. I really appreciate that. You can also get the app for Kindle on iPad. Pauline says, good advice there. Marlene says, I'm wrong, it is fiverr.com. Okay, never mind. You'll figure it out. Aline says, love the great info tonight and love you too. I love you too, Aline. Dawn says, I thought MailChimp cost $10 a month to add an autoresponder. Huh. Oh, I didn't know that. It's been a while. The last time I used MailChimp, the autoresponder was free. Now, maybe this year they changed that. There are other free autoresponders. Just simply Google that, and there's a lot. But this is what I want to warn you about free autoresponders, that if you get a free autoresponder system and you start growing your business and the email program stinks and it's hard to work with, or the opt-in forms stink and you're not happy with it just because it was free, and most free things kind of stink for some things, there isn't a free service that's perfect, then you want to move that list. Let's say you built up 2,000 people and you want to move it over to something like Constant Contact or Get Response or something like that. It's very difficult to move those lists over without losing people. So sometimes you just want to go ahead and go to something like Get Response and sign up for the $15 and get a real powerful program that will give you the tools for success ahead of time, that won't break the bank and you'll never have to move or lose people or do anything with. So Be careful when signing up for free autoresponders. This isn't really the time to skimp if you really think you have something to offer the world. Sheila Finkelstein, glad you're here tonight, says, this was great, Colin. Thanks so much, and I appreciate you being here too. Julie says, thanks, Colin. Happy 4th of July to you and everyone. You guys have a great 4th of July too. I'll wait another minute for some questions, but if everyone's done asking, you can also just write me over at videopower@live.com. I'll put that in the chat box and send it to everybody. Videopower@live.com. I'm sending it to all. That's my email. If you haven't had a chance to ask a question, answer it there, or ask it there and I'll answer it. Marjorie says, my concern is cost since I am coming off a major injury and funds are kind of tight. That's okay. I mean, I understand that. And I tell you what, Marjorie, if you Google some free autoresponder services, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you want to send me a couple links to ones you find, I'll probably be able, right at the top of my head, tell you which one would be okay that you can work with. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are good. You just don't want to get stuck down the road, something like that. So you want to be careful of that and just keep your eyes open. Sheila says, what is live.com? It's just a part of Microsoft email service. And Marjorie says, thanks. All right, everybody, I'm going to get going here. It is 90 minutes into this thing. And Morzine says, you are great, in all caps. Laid back, much quieter, more sincere. Loved your presentation. Thanks so much. No killer marketing techniques. Yeah, I don't have to shove something down your throat. I think everyone here understands the power of community building through something as simple as a Kindle book, and also how to turn a $5 sale into a $2,000 relationship. I showed you I don't have to yell at everyone, and get all in their faces and put a timer up and all this other nonsense. I think everyone understands the power of that and also how it can help you help other people. So I'm going to get going out of here tonight. Vicki and I are going to finish off our bottle of wine and settle in and cuddle together. And I'm going to be sending out the recording tomorrow. So everyone have a great night tonight. And if you didn't get your question in time, just email me at videopowerlive.com and I'll see you next time. Don says, tell Vicki hi, happy holiday weekend. Vicki says to Don.
Hey, Don.
Yeah, she says,
weekend also.
She says, had a great weekend, Don. All right, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great 4th of July. Freedom. What's real freedom? It's making the money that you're able to help other people with. It's not about buying that yacht, buying that car, being able to afford that bikini girl. It's about helping your family and friends who aren't able to help themselves, or whatever good that you want to do with it. That's true freedom, in my opinion, and that's what we're going to celebrate this weekend. So you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.